And welcome to the Historic Preservation Commission meeting. I believe we have a quorum. All right. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
That's pretty good. We can't even get a choir to sing that.
We have a designated motion maker.
Yeah.
Buzzer or something, so it's clear who's first.
So we'll start with voting on this end of the motion makers.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it's unanimous. Thank you. So, we've approved it. We have no old business, so let's jump right in. Tonight, we're going to look at 404 Shawnee.
Yep, this is a state law review for the property at 404 Shawnee, which is just over here next door, right next to the First City photo space over here that you're familiar with. It is located in the Leavenworth Downtown Historic District. So the property, the owner is proposing to add a deck on the back that will access a new second-story apartment that is being constructed in there, as well as adding windows and door for that. There will be no changes to the front of the building. This is all taking place on the rear. So up here, there's a picture of the front and the rendering of the proposed deck with stairs in the rear. And I do have a picture. This is how it looks now. So you can see it's kind of recessed back there between the two buildings. On either side of it, there's sort of that alcove there. The deck will be in here. New door and windows up on the second story. And then new window and new door installed on the first floor. So the windows being installed will, for the most part, match the windows that are on the front of the building. Those on the front, I don't believe, are original historic windows, but the ones that are being installed will match them in appearance for what's there currently. So I will just run through the required reviews that we have to take a look at based on the standards for rehabilitation set forth by the Secretary of the Interior. The first is that a property shall be used for its historic purpose or be placed in a new use that requires minimal change to the defining characteristics of the building and its site environment. And there will be minimal change to the physical characteristics of the building with no defining characteristics being altered. Number two is the historic character of a property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alteration of features and spaces that characterize a property shall be avoided. Again, much of the historic character of the property has previously been altered. It's a brick building. There's been at some point stucco applied over that.
It is a non-contributing building.
Yeah, so it's non-contributing. It is in the district, so we still have to take a look at it. So a lot of the defining historic features have already been altered, and so this isn't further altering any historic features that remain.
Thank you.
Number three is each property shall be recognized as a physical record of its time, place, and use. Changes that create a false sense of historical development, such as adding conjectural features or architectural elements from other buildings, shall not be undertaken. There are no changes being undertaken that will create a false sense of historical development with this property. Number four, most properties change over time. Those changes that have acquired historic significance in their own right shall be retained and preserved. There are no, again, features with historic significance that are being altered. Number five, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. Again, there are no features with historic significance that are being altered. The next is deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature, the new feature shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities and, where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features shall be substantiated by documentary, physical, or pictorial evidence. Again, like I mentioned, the new windows that are being installed on the rear of the building will match in appearance the windows that are already existing on the front of the building. Number seven, chemical or physical treatments such as sandblasting that cause damage to historic materials shall not be used. The surface cleaning of structures, if appropriate, shall be undertaken using the gentlest means possible. Again, this has been previously covered with stucco, so there really are no historic finishes even available to be damaged at this point, and there are no treatments being proposed with the project anyway. The next is significant archaeological resources affected by a project shall be protected and preserved. If such resources must be disturbed, mitigation measures shall be undertaken. There are no known significant archaeological resources with this property. Number 9, new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and shall be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. The proposed deck at the rear of the building will not destroy any historic materials and will be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features of the building. And finally, new additions or adjacent or related new construction shall be undertaken in such a manner that if removed in the future, the essential form and integrity of the historic property and its environment would be unimpaired. And this is again just adding a deck, and so it could be removed in the future without significant damage to the property. So if you have any questions for staff, I can answer those, and we do have the owner here as well.
Okay. Ken, I'll start on your end. Do you have any questions for staff?
None for staff. Thank you.
No.
The only question I have is, and it doesn't affect historical preservation, but because we have a second floor that's now going to be available from the street level, what is the ADA requirement?
So that'll be an issue for our building code our building inspection division. We do have a number of these type of properties downtown, these historic two-story buildings with residential units up top. I'm not sure the exact building code requirements.
Yeah,
Ken probably is more familiar.
Yeah,
than
there's
I
no
am.
ADA requirement for
Yeah,
residential.
Okay.
there's
Because
it
it's not
has
a
to do
place
with,
of
I
public
think, the number
accommodation.
of units that are in a building,
Right.
and with these, what we've got downtown with there being 1, potentially 2 units in a lot of these buildings on the second story, that negates any ADA requirements. But yeah, that'll be, any ADA issues will be taken up at the time of building permit.
Okay. Is that your first question or only
That's
question,
it.
Dick? And I understand that we have the owner of the property here. Would you care to come to our microphone, please? Thank you. And introduce yourself.
My name's Marshall Blount. I'm a partner with M&D 404 LLC.
Okay. So he anticipated my only question, which is actually really, really good. So, Marshall, can you just help me with the construction of the stairwells? Is it, it's a composite of wood on the outside? Is that like wrought iron or?
That's the idea, yes. Wood on the stairs and the decking,
Yes.
and the wrought iron on the rails.
Okay, so the decking will be wood. Okay. Ken?
I know these are probably tentative plans, but my assumption is your intermediate deck there will be on the other side, not obstructing the exit door on the first floor. Yeah.
Are you talking about this little landing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it would.
That actually comes out a little bit further.
Yeah, then what you can
That,
sell.
because we have so much of a parking lot behind the building, there's some room for a pretty good-sized deck up there. And the idea is to, make that a place where the residents can
Yeah,
enjoy some
it's-
outside
I mean, you
time.
can kind of tell here, it's a
Yeah.
pretty deep space, and they've got.
Well, it's up to you, as long as the fire code people don't bother, mind, I don't.
I think
care.
from a design
But
standpoint,
it's
it
not, it would
makes
look a
sense,
little bit
though.
better.
Yeah.
If it were flipped on the other side.
Yeah.
And I will commend them, they actually do have an architect, retained doing the plans, which a lot of folks don't necessarily go straight to an architect, so, an architect is gonna be familiar with building code issues and all of those concerns.
Okay.
What's the completion date? Do you have a guesstimate on that, when it's gonna be done?
I don't know. This, some of the things we're doing here are new to me. The requirement for sprinkler and those types of things. So it becomes a function of how long, delivery of material, the cost to complete the project. But typically, I could turn something around and, we'd like to be open by springtime to market to the public for the residential.
Okay.
So it looks like you've answered most of our questions.
Yeah, you touched on the sprinkler requirement. I wanted to make sure that you were tracking that as
Yes.
well. Okay. I have no other questions.
No, sir.
Looking forward to seeing it built.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So that closes the open portion, is that correct? So since there don't seem to be any other questions, would someone provide me a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Not
No,
quite.
no. I make a motion that we approve the major certificate of appropriateness for the property on 404 Shawnee Street.
Second.
So it's been moved and properly second that we approve the motion before us. I'll start, Ken, on your end.
Aye.
Ed?
Aye.
And I. So we're thumbs up, and good luck. We'll be looking forward to looking at it. I had Ken orient me to it because I was looking at it completely backwards. I'm going, wait a minute, if I stand here, I'm facing.
Yeah, I actually looked at this property when it was on the market.
Oh, really?
It has a very good design for it, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out. So, great.
So is there any other question for us? Okay, you're gone.
For me? Oh,
No, you mean,
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know that we have several certificates of appropriateness. Wendy, are you staying or are you departing?
I think she's gone.
Yep, we just have three minor reviews that are just provided for your informational purposes only. Those are just administrative type reviews that we provide to you before we send them off to the state. And do we have anything for next month? Okay, so no item for next month. And just to kind of let you guys know, I have hired a new city planner. Her name is Bethany Falvey, and she's actually coming to us from the State Historic Preservation Office.
Oh, wow.
So that's great. She'll have a lot of good expertise for this. So we may be changing some things up. She may have some suggestions and modifications for the way we review or just the way we kind of handle things. I don't know yet, but the hope is that she can give us some good guidance and bring her expertise to the table since we do have a lot of historic items that we review. So we will be meeting her at our next meeting.
Okay. Ed, are you ready for your motion?
Not yet. I was just going to ask you two. I've been to, I guess, when we were at the cemetery this weekend, it was the third time I've been there. And these people are really excited. They're go-getters. Have they ever approached us for any questions or? Now, I've been here a long time and I
Not that
don't.
I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to know. But yeah, they're a bunch of go-getters.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
They've done a good job, huh?
Who are they?
The Greenwood Cemetery is a historical site.
Okay.
And they got approval for what? Federal approval
Yeah.
for a historical landmark.
Oh, okay.
Horrible, I mean, it's horrible the way it's done right now. I mean, it's falling apart and a lot of work to be done. But, if we could help, that's fine.
Sure.
So is that something that comes under our preview at all or not?
No,
I don't think
any of
so.
those designations
Just asking.
go through either the state or the federal level, and we're provided that, the city level, just sort of information like, hey, we've made this designation, but no, that doesn't come for your review.
All right, thank you.
No, I didn't think it came for our review. I was just curious, so, okay. I guess I'm kind of interested in probably attending one of their meetings at some point.
Yeah.
Good group.
Yeah. Know a lot of familiar faces
Yeah.
in that group, so,
Yeah.
okay. If there are not any other questions, I'll come back to you, Ed.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we adjourn. I'll start, take over.
Aye.
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 Aye. And to be consistent, thank you, dynamic team, as always. You always answer my non-complicated questions.
Don't Don't give us any complicated questions. Like that piece of
No
stuff.
complicated questions at all. Right.
That was a short one.
Yeah.